What's up, TJ? What's up, Bruce? Man, I tell you what, built on a budget. Let's go, baby. Big Bertha looking. Built on a budget. Let me brush myself off. Big Bertha looking fresh. Looking fresh. Bill, you ought to be proud of yourself, my man. You ought to be proud of yourself. You ought to be proud of yourself. And whoever don't like it, you tell them that Jay said they could eat fish heads, and if they need them, I'll bring them. Don't be worrying about them. Let me show you what I've been doing today. Let me show you. Woo, boys and girls, look at this. Oh, yeah. All right, so this is the bottom pipe. That goes to right there. That goes down there. Oh, excuse me, wrong piece. This piece right here goes right here. That piece goes right there. Comes all up to the box. And got to do some little cleaning on the box. That's that. But I got to clean the box up a little bit. I got to do a little bit of cleaning. I'm going to do some, oh yeah. The little pipe finally came in for that. So I took a break on that. And I got over here and started sanding on these jams. So I've been hand sanding these jams. And y'all see this right here, right? See them little indentions? I'm coming back and I'm mixing up glazing putty and I'm making every bit of this silky smooth. What's up, Scoot? So I'm gonna show y'all that here in a second. But oh, look what else I'm doing. I told y'all I was gonna clean them cabinets out and throw that stuff out. That's the wonderful thing about ADHD, or whatever you want to call it. I'll work on that a little bit. I'll clock out. I'll tear this out. I'll clock back in. I'll work back on that. I'll clock out, and I'll come back over here. Then I'll clock out, and now I'm eating a sandwich. So I'm gonna eat a little bit of this and mix up a little bit of filler and show y'all cleaning in them jams. But yeah, Bill been rocking and rolling, working on a lift, and I'll listen. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock there in California? So Bill should be buttoning up a little Big Bertha today. You might want to change Big Bertha's name to Ghost. Name her Ghost. Man, she white as Casper, man. She white as Casper. Yep, sure is. 1218. 1218. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was looking at, yeah. I remember when I tried to filter some jams. One more day, baby. I'm coming down Saturday morning. Saturday morning. Hey, TJ, a chip brush. A chip brush would help you. Chip brush. I'm not going to use a chip brush. What's up? But you can take a chip brush, mix up your filler, real soupy, and like put some fiberglass resin in it where it's real soupy, and you could take a chip brush and you could brush it on. I don't do that, but I know some guys. So, here's something else I'm gonna do too. I'm gonna shear some aluminum. I'm gonna shear a piece 1 inch this wide, 3/4 this wide, and then I'm gonna put it in a shrinker and I'm gonna make a radius to fit this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little angle piece, right? I'm gonna make an angle piece and I'm gonna put some holes in it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug weld. I'm gonna make a band and I'm gonna plug weld it where it looks like pop rivets and go from that. But this, I just saw you live. I appreciate it, Bill. I appreciate it. So I come back here to the shear. I've been cleaning up a little bit, so I got stuff on the way. So I come back here to the shear, and like I said, you put this piece of metal in here like this. See that line right there? You put it on the line. Hold on. Y'all see the line? Put it on the line. Put your foot on here. Turn 1 into 2. Turn 1 into 2, boys and girls. So, but anyways, that's that. And like I said, let me show you. Look here. Look at that right there, that big eye in the sky. All right, so I throw my glazing putty. This is bumper bite. It's flexible. I throw that outside to warm up a little bit. So we're gonna mix some up right quick, and we're gonna spread it. Now, being that it's warm, I've warmed that up. Need some gloves. There's one more place I got to check. Is that what the doctor said? Yep. Need your hardener. That's about all you need. That's actually probably too much, honestly. All right, let me blow these jams out. See how I'm gonna be able to, because I use a trash can. They are running fiber optic. They are running fiber optic. Matter of fact, they're running it to my driveway right now. And I talked to them yesterday. I called the company and they told me it'd be 14 months. It's under construction. I talked to the guys out there working. He said, man, we got to have this done in 14 days. So they're telling me I'm going to get fiber optic so I don't have the satellite no more. And they said I'd be 100 times faster. Hey, 87. Look, 87, let me show you. I'm glad you dropped in. Let me show you right quick before you go. Getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there. We're about to work on these jams. Let me show you these jams. All right, see all these little imperfections in the jams? Y'all see all that? I gotta fix every bit of that. All of it. All of it. All of it. Oh, 87. I talked to my rep. I got a rep now from Holly. And he said just as soon as everything goes through and they give me the account number, he says, then what I can do is I can give that number to whoever, like you, whoever's want to order from Holly. Call Holly or go to the website and put in that dealer number, and you'll get dealer prices. And then you can have it drop shipped directly to your house, and then that dealer price, I get credit, a sales credit. And then once he says, once I sell so many, then my tier drops down. And then once I sell so many, my tier drops down. And then when I drive so many, my tier drops down. So I'm not going to say the numbers over the phone, or I'm not going to say the numbers. But basically, the more you sell, the better discount you get. So I'm kind of interested in that. But I will tell this. I can say this. I just ordered something and saved the client $450. I'll text you the logistics on that in a bit. But that's all I'm going to say on here. And I hope that don't jam me up. But if it jams me up, oh well, it jams me up. Now I didn't make $450. I saved $450. All right, so here's the filler, right? Now, I got my handy dandy gloves on, like 87. And I use gloves, not much, but I'm gonna use like, so in these little crevices, I'm going to use my fingers and I'm gonna drag it. And I'm gonna do some of it with the scraper. And then some of it I'm gonna do with my finger. And you're gonna try to get it as slick as you can get it. Because the slicker you can get it, the easier it is to sand. And the easier it is to sand, the easier it is on your fingers. So, if you'll take a razor blade, sponsor, yes sir, LEDs. Hey, Bill, I will tell you this. If you put LED, Bill, I will tell you this. If you put LED lights or turn signal lights for LEDs, you got to change your blinker. You got to change your blinker. Damn, what is that thing called? You have to change your blinker in your fuse box to a LED blinker. Because if you don't, and you put LED turn signal bulbs, I know you don't have them, but if you do put LED turn signal bulbs in, and you go to hit your turn signal, the light's just gonna come on. It ain't gonna blink. So that turn signal blinker, that's in that little round silver box, a little real silver thing that's in the fuse box, you have to change that to LED compliant. And then you change that and then it'll blink. There you go. Appreciate it, 87. You gotta change your flasher. All right, here we go. So if you make a scribe mark, y'all see that scribe mark? If you make a scribe mark, you can break it because I don't need the whole thing. I just need the small one. All right, so let's get to it. So this is the width of this. See that? So I just made it. Yeah, the flasher. Yeah, I know you're just doing side markers, but if you ever change the LEDs for the blinkers, you have to put an LED flasher. And my brain was not computing. So I'm gonna show you how I mix this, right? So All right, that's good. That's it, boys and girls. Now, see it's already kicking. Look, y'all see that? It's kicking. I'm not be able to. It's not sliding no more. It's kind of grabbing. So once it gets like that, you're done. Now don't throw this away. I'm gonna show you how to clean it. All right. Take some wax and grease remover. Take some wax and grease remover. Spray on it. Take your paper towel. Done. Do it before it dries. Done. My spreader's clean. And I got a little bit on this finger. Take some wax and grease remover. And 87 is probably gonna say, you should have had a glove on that finger. Yeah. I hate gloves because my hands sweat. I just learned. Now, see, I've already done this before, and then see if you can touch it and it fingerprints, it's not ready, but this is ready. So I take some paper. Since I'm gonna spot prime this, I'm using 180. I'm gonna show you, this stuff sands so good. I've done this about 5 minutes before I went live, so I know this is good. while I'm out here without gloves on. So that's 180. I got it close with 180. All right. I got it close with 180. Then I'm gonna hit it with some 240. All right, when I run my finger right there in that crack right there, I can feel the transition from the edge of that blue filler to the edge of that primer. So I can catch that with my fingernail. If you can catch it with your fingernail, it doesn't matter if you put 100 gallons of primer on there, it ain't gonna cover it. Ain't gonna do it. So you gotta get that edge. So I'm gonna concentrate with the end of my finger in the corner to get that sharp edge. When I tell you I don't have no fingerprints, I have no fingerprints. They don't even fingerprint me no more when I have to go get ATF stuff. They just take a damn DNA sample because I ain't got no fingerprints. All right, you see that? I'm feathering it out. See the distance between the edge of the blue primer and the gray primer has opened. Now it looks like a valley, so that tells you that I'm getting to where I need to get. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll this thing up. He said he's gonna roll it up and get a little edge on it so I can put a little bit more pressure on it. Hey, guess what come by today, boys and girls? A 95 Impala SS. Guy wants to paint it. Guy wants to redo it. And then I told him I was looking for a G-body, and he told me, you for real? I said, yeah, man, I'm for real. Man, I just sold my grandpa's 85 Cutlass Supreme Classic 2-door, limited. He said, man, it was a cream puff. He said it was in the garage and Grandpa can't drive no more, had 61,000 original miles on it, and it was a T-top car. I said, I'm listening. He said, man, I let that thing go for $4,400, man. I said, what? I said, how much? $4,400. Damn, dog, why didn't you come by here last week? We could have done some trading. I'd have took $4,400 as a down payment to paint your car, towards your car. And he's like, you for real? I said, as a damn heart attack. He said, really? I said, yes, man. Does a bullfrog like daggone flies? Damn, I need to find you a daggone G-body. I said, you need to go find your grandpa's G-body and bring it back. I know, right, 87? He said, Cutlass Supreme Limited T-top, loaded. All the whistles and bells. Said it was burgundy with pillow top interior. I said, stop playing with my emotions, please. He out looking for that car. Hey, TJ, you best believe he riding around right now. He said, yeah, this is my old lady right here in the car. Big old dude, big corn-fed son. Look, I'm not a small person, okay? I ain't a small person, right? But let me show y'all something. This sun gun like this. I bet if I took my hand and reached up, I couldn't put my hand on his forehead. He like this. When he got out of that 95, I thought it was damn Shaquille O'Neal here. I said, damn, what's Shaq doing here? What's up for Berlin? Yeah. And then 87, let me tell you this. He said he had an 86 SS Monte Carlo that had 305 in it. Said he spun a rod bearing, started knocking in the bottom end, showed me pictures of it. Super clean car. He said he sold it for $3,000, took the $3,000, added money to the $3,000, and bought the 95 or 94, 95 Impala SS. And that's how he got that. Now he wants to paint the 95 Impala. He wants to paint it back black. It's burgundy, but it originally was black. He wants to paint it back black, and he said he had a set of 28s he's gonna put on. I said, yeah. I said, sounds good to me, big dog. I said, let me know. So, but anyways, it is what it is. But I told him I was looking for a G-body. He said, yep. I said, I'm looking for a G. I said, it don't even have to. I said, running and driving would be a whole lot better. Oh, yeah, my granddaddy, his was running and driving. Now, right there, when I run my finger across that, it's slick. Now, let me show y'all something else. When y'all looking for body work, I think I seen TJ do this the other day. When you're looking at body work, take a paper towel and put between your finger and the paper towel, and you can feel the imperfection, if you can see. He's selling cars cheap compared to Oh, I know. That's what I'm talking about. So I put a bug in his ear. I told him. I said, man, Buick, Cutlass. He said, what about a Riviera? I said, no, that's not a G-body. That's a B-body. He's like, what? I said, that's a B-body. I said, I want a G-body. I said, running and driving would be best. If you got one running and driving, then I know everything else works, brakes and all that. He's like, yeah. And he said, I was going to LS swap Grandpa's car, but he told me I had to sell it. And I didn't want to tell him. If I got it, it'd be LS swap. 6'2". Put a 6'2" in that son of a gun. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna go big or go home. So that's what I'm doing. All right, now see, that's still tack. See, I can listen. Y'all hear that? So this ain't ready, but it'll be ready in a minute. It'll be ready after I get all this. Where's my little taco at? Hey, let me see if I can find it. Hey, TJ, you need to get you one of these, buddy. Need to get you one of these. Let me show you. TJ, these are tacos. Not you eat. See that? See that? It's a half moon. Take sandpaper. Get you one of them. And when you're doing these flat spots like that, you can come back and finalize your paper. You know what I mean? Or finalize your sanding with one of these. And if you got any finger tracks, this will take it out. So this right here is 320. So I went 180, 240, 320. So, but yeah. So I will sand these this is like the third time. So I did all the metal work, then I did body work, then I primed it, high build primer. Now I'm sanding again. Now I'm getting what the primer didn't fill in, and then I'll spot prime it, and then I'll sand it again. I'll sand all these jams. So when you open this door and you look at this jam will be slick. This jam will be just as slick as the rest of the truck. And then I'll come back and wet sand and polish the jams. So, yeah. Now, is this for everybody? No. This is not for everybody. What's built say? What's built on the budget say? this party ain't for everybody. You just gotta figure out what kind of party you're going to. If you're going to a regular party, that's okay too. If you're going to, a collared shirt party, that's okay too. But if you're going to a suited and booted party, that's okay too. You just got to find out what party you're going to, and then just got to play the part. So that's what it is. So. Hey, TJ, what paint supplies do you use, buddy? You use Finish One? Is that what you've been using, Finish One? Is that what you've been using? You're getting it from like Napa, ain't you? Finish One. I think that's what you're using. Dress accordingly. That's right. Hey, what'd you take your message away? I've been trying different products right now. Finish One. Finish One, I don't use Finish One. I've used Finish One in the past. Finish One's clear is super, super thin. Like super, super thin. And it's sprayable friendly too. It's more based on the collision side. You know what I mean? So it's not a very high solid content, but it is also thinner. Yeah, that feels good. It's also thinner. It's also, I got to change some paper. It's also, I don't even know what I was going to say. It's sprayable friendly, is what I'm saying. What's a gallon of clear? What's a gallon of clear? I need both hands for this one. Let me back this thing up. What's a gallon of Finish One clear run now? And dress accordingly. That's right. That's right. Right now, Finish One. Around $100. That's for a gallon? That's for a gallon? Around $100 looks like it. I gotta take the hat off, I'm hot. $100 a gallon. Is that what you're telling me? Do you know what the solid content is? It'll say solids by volume. Solid content by volume. Does it say that? $98. Does it say the solid content in the description? Does it give you that? I'll look it up after a while. I didn't know if you knew right off the top of your head. No wonder body shops use it. No wonder body shops are using daggone Finish One. It's a body shop clear, like collision refinishing. That's the market. That's the market. And I'm gonna tell you why here in a second. If you knew what the solid content was, I could tell you what I was gonna tell you. Says high solids. Yeah, it says it, but can you pull the P sheet up? I can't get off the screen to look it up. I'll look it up after we get off, and then I'll go from there. It's probably, if I'm at $100 a gallon, it's probably anywhere from 22%, maybe 28. If they say it's more than 30, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I doubt it's more than 30% solids. It can't be. Because think of it like this. If, let's say it's 30% solids, then that means 30% of every ounce is what you're getting, and the rest of it is solvents. The primer's like 60 or 70. Man, that is crazy. The solid content's what counts. Let's say that it's 20% solids. And that means that for every 10 ounces, just say 10 ounces times 20%, that number you're getting, that's actual the product on the panel. The rest of it is solvents. That's the way it was explained to me. So if it's a 30% solid content, then 30% means it's the solid, it's the primer. And the rest of it is the carrier, which is the solvents to get it to the panel. If it's a 50% content, then that means you're getting 50%. If it's 50 cents, it's like this. If it's 30% solids, you're getting 30 cents for every dollar that you spend. So basically, you're getting, if it's $100 a gallon, you're getting $30 worth of product, and the other 70%, the other $70 is liquid. That's solvents and gas and all. That's the way I was explained. CRE 321 is 72.9% solids. Just so you say it's 70%. So for every dollar I spend on primer, I'm getting 70% of my solid content on the panel, and 30% is solids, or is solvents that is evaporating into the air. So a gallon of finished one is $100 a gallon. The clear that I use is $1,000 a gallon. It's $850 a gallon. Scooter in here. He was. And you got to look at it. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. I got a buddy up the street. That's all he sprays is finished one. That's all he sprays. He's been spraying it for ever since it came out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like the solid content of the clear. Like if the clear solid content is 30% and it's like thin as water, it's collision stuff. It's not for show quality. It's not for show cars. It's not for. I mean, it's a good looking clear. Don't get me wrong. It don't have a real high build of solids. So when you start to cut and buff it, you might have to put 6, 7, 8 coats on it to get the film build that you would if you used a real solid, high solid content where you put 3 coats of clear on it and it's thick. I didn't know that it was $100 a gallon. That's crazy. Even PPG's shop line, which is their collision stuff, is like $400 a kit. It's like $350 a gallon. So, well, actually it's a liter. So it's 5 liters. So it's a gallon and a quart. So you get 5 liters in the hardener for like $380, $400, just for shop line clear. So that's crazy. That is crazy. You know what? I'm gonna go get some at Napa, and I'm gonna spray it on something I got, and I want to see what it does. I want to see what it does, because I wonder what the UV protection is on it. Some of that clear like that, like high tech clear that Advanced sells, it's only got like a 2 to 5 year UV protection. The last time I was told. So that means if you clear a car within 2 to 5 years, that clear is going to break down and it's going to delaminate, because they use that for used car lots. That's what it's based on. Used car lots to, buy here, pay here, make it look good today. It's going to fall off next week. That's what that's for. So that goes back to the party. it goes back to the party. What party are you going to? You know, just depends on what party you're going to. And whatever a man uses, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you use whatever you can afford. And that's what I tell people. You use whatever you can afford. Matter of fact, a guy asked me today, he called me and asked me about painting his pickup truck. And he said he didn't want to spend a lot of money in it and painting it. He said, man, I believe I could paint it, but I don't know how to paint. I'd like to get a paint job on my truck. And I said, you want a solid color? And he said, yeah. I said, well, let me tell you something. Must have been why GM used it on Silverados. I told him, I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, you can use essential, like single stage. And he goes, yeah. I said, now. And he's like, oh, man, it's just a hunt truck, man. I just don't want it to look good. I just want it to look good, all one color. I ain't trying to look for nothing. I said, if you just want it all one color, I said, Rust-Oleum makes their professional brand, and if you get synthetic hardener in it, it will dry a little faster, and they got solid colors, you know, blues, greens, whatever. And you go to Harbor Freight and buy you a cheap $15, $20 gun, and buy you a couple of them, clean the guns out real good, and tape it up real good, and spray it about mid-morning at your house in the driveway so the overspray don't get on nothing. Put you about 3 coats on it. I said, do the whole truck. Come back and do the whole truck. Do you like 2 coats, 2, 3 coats. And I said, you be good to go. Are you really? So. Tractor paint's good too. I painted a little Toyota pickup truck. With tractor paint, a blue Toyota. I painted a Toyota blue with Ford tractor blue. I painted it for a guy. He brought it to me. He brought the paint. That stuff mixes 16 to 1. And he brought it to me. And I told him, I said, now here's something else. If you use enamel or oil-based paint, you can forget it. You can't put nothing else over top of it except oil-based paint. So if you paint something with oil-based paint, like Rust-Oleum Professional or tractor paint from Tractor Supply or any kind of oil-based paint or enamel, and you put on a vehicle, you can't put polyurethane, you can't put urethane, you can't put single stage, you can't put anything over top of that because they don't like each other. So you have to strip every bit of it off to bare bones and start all over. So that's something to think about too. So if you're going to paint something and you just want to paint it and then later on down the road you plan on changing it or something, just be mindful that if you use oil-based enamel, you have to stay with oil-based enamel, or you have to strip all that off and start all over. Whew. I know one thing, I gotta sit down. They just use crayons. Yeah, even broken crayons, they color too. You use whatever you want to use. If you want to use crayons, use crayons. Use whatever you want to use. That's cool, Ray. DJ, that's crazy, man. That is, PPG has got some clear. It's called Grow. They don't even have the PPG logo on it, but they bought this company years ago, and it's called Grow, right? That's what I use their wax and grease remover because, I mean, it's good. But they have a clear. The last time I checked, it was like that, $69 a kit. So it was like $70 for the clear, the hardener, and it don't take no reducer. It mixes like 3 to 1 or 2 to 1. Yeah, 2 to 1. And it's like $70. And it's called Grow. It's in a green can. And I mean, they sell it. I used it one time on some of my stuff just to see. I wanted some, it didn't matter. It was just something of mine, and I wanted to see it. And I wanted to put some clear on it. And it's been about 4 or 5 years, and it's starting to break down. You can see it, like on the hood, the tops of the fenders, the roof line. You can see it breaking down where it's the UV protection is not good in it. But like I said, it was like, they call it a 5-year clear, and that's basically what it is, 5-year clear. DJ, you got any questions, man? You got any questions? Ask them. Give me something so I can answer them. You got some questions? Ask. Give me something to talk about. What is a good clear to use? That's a good clear. I mean, budget-wise, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Finish One. There's nothing wrong with it. So you could actually do your car. You could actually do your whole car and then let it set for about a week and then come back and sand the clear. You could get you a DA with an interface pad. Something simple something easy for you to do. You could get you a DA. Yes, the drip rails are shaved. And I filled in all the way around with 1/8" plate. I rolled 1/8" plate, filled in all the way around the door gaps and made it 3/16 all the way around. TJ, you could get some interface pads, right? You could clear your car. Right? If you're doing your car a solid color, you could do just the fender. Let's say you was going to do your car in a solid color with no pearls, no metallics, no nothing. You could paint the fender, right, and clear the fender, so you don't have to do all over, because doing all over takes a lot of time. So you could do your front fender, let it dry for about 4 or 5 days, get you a DA and an interface pad, and get you some 1200 grit or 1500 grit sandpaper and dry sand your whole fender. Stay away from your edges. Stay away from your edges. Do them by hand. Stay away from your body lines. Stay about 1 inch away from body lines, contours, and dips in the edges of the panel. Come back and do those by hand. And you could knock all the orange peel off of your clear. Wipe it down really, really good and clean it. Mix you up some more Finish One, spray you 3 more coats on there, then let that dry, and then come back and hit it with an interface pad with 1500, 2000, 3000, and then get you a orbital buffer from Harbor Freight. Get you some buffing compound. You can get Jack's Wax or the Chemical Guys or something like that, and then you could polish your fender. And by you stacking the clear, they call that flow coating. I don't particularly do flow coating, but you could do that, and it's called flow coating, and it will make it look pretty deep on it. So basically what I would do is I use a high solid clear, and I put about 6 or 7 coats of clear on it in one session. I was told wet sanding gets it smooth, the paint won't stick. Yeah. Hey Woody, G3 and Wizard compound, I heard they're good. I haven't tried those. I was told that wet sanding gets it smooth and the paint won't stick. It will stick. Now, when you're wet sanding the paint, I wouldn't wet sand it no finer than 500 grit. Well, 600. So it's 600 for water, or 600 for solvent base paint, and 800 for water base. You're not spraying water base, you're spraying solvent. So if you dry sand it with 400 and then come back and water sand it with 600 and then sealed it and then painted it, oh yeah, it'd be fine, man. I dry sand everything 400 grit, and then I come back and water sand everything 600. And then I seal it, nib out the trash in the sealer. Then if I'm doing base coat, I do 3 coats. I do a coat of base, I nib out any trash. I do a second coat, I nib out any trash. I do a third coat, I nib out if I see any trash. I let that set for 12 hours. Then I come back, and depending on how far I'm going, if I'm not doing a full cut and buff, I'll put 4 coats of clear on it. I'll let it cure out, and then I'll nib out what little bit of stuff I nib out, and then I'll sand it. If I'm doing a full cut and polish, I will put anywhere from 4 to 6 coats of clear on it in one session. I'll let it set for about a month, and then I'll come back and I'll start wet sanding. I'll start sanding it with 1200, and I'll go from 1200 all the way up to like 5,000. They got 8,000 now, and then I heard that 3M's got 10,000, and then I'd polish it. So it just depends on what part of you at, man. But no, not everybody can handle that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I haven't used what's up, 301? Matte black finishes. Matte black finishes is like candy paint jobs. So these Hellcats, these Dodge Demons, the BMWs, the Mercedes, all of them that have matte finish hoods, stuff like that, they come with special soap and a special rag. You have to wash it with special soap and a special rag, because if you wash it with regular soap and a regular rag, you're just going to scratch that matte finish up, and you're just going to turn it. If it's an eggshell and you wash it with regular stuff, you're going to turn it into a flat. If it's a matte finish and you wash it with regular stuff, you're going to turn it into a flat. So me personally, also the clear doesn't hold up as well. It breaks down because it has a flattening agent in it, and they can tell you whatever. I done my little truck in a flat clear, or a matte clear, and it was $300 a quart. A quart. Global, PPG Global, $300 a quart. It made it about 10 years, and it broke down. I know Tamco makes a matte finish clear. I don't know how long that works. I don't know their shelf life on that. But me personally, unless you can't wax it, you can't polish it, you can't do nothing. So if you matte finish something, there is no waxing it, there is no polishing it, there is no nothing. Because I did a truck one year, and they wanted it eggshell, and I said, you have to, and I explained to them. And then they called me about 4 or 5 months later and said, hey man, something's wrong with the tailgate, I need you to fix it. And I was like, well, bring it by here. And I was like, what happened to it? And then they told me, I don't know, man, this is just what happened. And I said, well, who polished it? Well, didn't nobody polish it? I said, somebody polished it. Somebody waxed this thing. No. I was like, yeah, you can see the swirl marks. And he's like, what? I said, yeah, you waxed it. You can't polish it. You can't do that. Well, why do I want a paint job I can't polish? I said, you the one that wanted matte finish, and I told you I told you couldn't do that. I got it in the contract. You can come in here and read it. I'll show you. So, no. I wouldn't do a whole car matte finish. And also with matte finish, when you go to spray the clear, if you get trash in it, you have to let it completely dry to get it out. Because if you nib it and try to polish it, it's shiny there. So, no. I'm not big on matte finishes. Because all those Hellcats, those Demons, all those dealership cars, they come with special soap and a special rag. And also, TJ, finish one clear is a good clear for a novice because you don't have a lot of money in it. And you can fix it and stuff like that. I would never recommend a novice spraying $700-800 gallon clear because you're just going to have a hard time spraying it because it's thicker. You got to spray it different. You got to spray it at high pressures. You got to have a pretty decent gun. So finish one is fine. Like I say, it's not a bad clear. It's just more designed for collision work. Like I said, my buddy up the road, he's been using it for years. I mean, he uses it. Flat black. Now, I know Tampco's got a flat black. It's called Murdered Out Black. It's a single stage. I heard it holds up pretty good. PPG has a single stage in their essential line that's flat black. It holds up pretty good, but PPG, man, they've got ridiculous, man. They went up again this month. They went up another 8% this month. So they getting crazy. Hey, then TJ, you doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job. Man, if you didn't live all the way down where you live at, and if you got your car 80% done, and you come all the way up here to North Kakalaki, get you a hotel room down here at the Days Inn, roll your car up in here, and you had it like 90% done, I'd help you the rest of the 10%, and I'd let you spray the car. And I'd walk behind you and let you spray it and paint it whatever damn color you want to paint, you know. But you live all the way down there and you're doing fine, man. Just if you're doing a solid color like blues, blacks, reds, no metallics, my advice to you, if you're doing a solid color with no metallics and no pearls, my advice to you would be paint one panel at a time. Paint your fender, and then paint your door. Then paint your other door. Paint your quarter. Paint your deck lid. Do one panel at a time because you can manage one panel at a time and not try to paint the whole car because, man, I know where you live at is like where I live at. The damn weather will change in 30 minutes and you got your car all taped up and you go to spray your whole car and a damn thunderstorm comes in and your tape gets wet. You're not getting that shit off. It's going to make a mess. Your paper's wet. Now you got what? You're just looking for problems. So get you one of them damn 10 by 10 pop-up tents from Harbor Freight when they go on sale. Get you a coupon. Get you some damn long ass nails from over in the landscaping department at Lowe's. Drive that son of a gun down in the ground with them long nails. Get you some daggone 5-gallon buckets. Fill them sun guns up with rocks or gravel and use them things as anchors to hold it down if the wind comes through. Take your hood off your car, stick your hood underneath that canopy. Now you're not in the direct sunlight. You're in the heat, but you're not in the direct sunlight. And go from there and hell, you can go as far as hanging up a cheap tarp all the way around it, except on one side, and get you a couple cheap Walmart box fans to keep the airflow going through, and paint your hood right there underneath the canopy, and you don't have to worry about nothing falling on it, and just do one panel at a time if you're doing a solid color. Now, if you're doing pearls or metallics, you can't do that because it'll look like Fido's ass. But if you do a solid color, my advice to you, being where you're at in your journey, I would do one panel at a time. One panel at a time. I'd do that panel, I'd get it done, and I'd go on to and I'd let it dry for about a week before you cover it up. If you put plastic on fresh paint, the plastic's gonna stick to the paint. But you can cover it up about a week later with some paper, like not newspaper, because you'll have the damn print of the damn news article in the side of your car. Use some painter's paper to cover it up. And then don't leave it covered up overnight, and then when you get done, uncover it so it can breathe. Because the solvents is gonna gas out. And if solvents can't get out, then you're gonna have solvent pops. Fish eyes is from where you got contaminants, oils, silicone, stuff like that. That's where fish eyes come from. Solvent pops is from where the solvents can't get out and they pop blisters. But man, I'm serious, man. I want to do blue. That's what I got on my powder to the old car. Okay, so that's something else. A paint gun eats 14 CFM. It eats 14 CFM at 30 PSI. Okay? If your compressor is only producing 10 CFM, which is cubic feet per minute, if your compressor is only producing 10 CFM at 90, it can't keep up, and it's going to run its ass off. And the more it runs, the more heat it's going to make. And then when gas goes from hot to cold, you got condensation. Then you're going to have condensation. Then you're going to have water in your tank. And then you're going to possibly, if you don't have a water trap between that and your gun, you're going to spray water in your paint, and you're going to be mad as a damn wet hen. I promise you. So that's why, like, a LVP gun is low pressure, high volume. An RP gun is reduced pressure, high fluid content. So that's another reason why I suggest you do one panel at a time. Like, do the underside of your hood. Then your compressor can try to keep up. If you add another tank, like if you got your compressor and then you hook a line from your compressor to another tank, and then you hook your air line to that tank, and let's say you got a 20-gallon tank and you add another 20-gallon tank, and you say, well, I got 40 gallons of air. No, you don't. You still have the same amount of air. You just got more volume. You don't have more flow. Think of it like this. If you deposit a check in your checking account every month for $100 and you pay out $125, you're going to go in a hole every month, $25. You'll never catch up. It's like pouring water in a bucket. You're never going to get nowhere. And that's what a lot of people's like, man, I don't know why my compressor won't keep up. It's because it can't keep up because it can't supply what you want. Because a DA and a paint gun eats air. And especially the DAs and the paint guns from Harbor Freight, they're good for what they're for, but their quality control is not as good as some of the higher end guns. So their tolerance, they eat more. Some of them has been tested. We test some of them at the school, and some of them eat like 22 CFM. Well, if your compressor's only 12 CFM, it can't even keep up, But you're not spraying at 90 PSI, you're spraying like at 28 PSI. So it still can't keep up. So that goes back to what I was saying. I would just do one panel at a time. But also, I mean, I'm serious. I even told Bill on the budget, he could have painted daggone Big Bertha here, painted it all at one time. But he done it at his house, and he done a great job. You just got to be out of the direct sunlight. You can do it under a canopy. You just got to be out of direct sunlight, because you think about it, that paint is designed to work at 70 degrees. So if it's 70 degrees outside and the sun is on that panel's over 100 degrees. Dry spray, it's gonna dry before it hits the panel. So if you just get a canopy and cover it up, you can go from there. But I had a guy the other day, he asked me, could he rent my paint booth? And I said, no. And he said, can I rent your paint booth? And I said, no. He's like, what? I said, no, but you can rent me. He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, he wanted to paint his vehicle himself. And I said, that'd be fine. You can rent me. I said, if you bring all your supplies, all your materials, everything, you bring all your stuff, tape, paper, sandpaper, everything. You can rent me for this much money for this many hours. You go in the booth. I will show you how to mix the stuff. I will show you how to set the gun up, and I will guide you to paint, and you paint your own vehicle, and I will stand there and I will help you. I will be like a one-on-one with you. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah. And then I told him, and he's like, I told him how much. It was actually a Volkswagen, a 71 Super Beetle. I told him, and he's like, nah, man, I can't afford that. I'll just do it myself. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. He's still riding around, and the thing is in primer. And I seen him at Walmart one day, and I said, you ain't painted that thing yet? He's like, nah, man, I'm scared to paint it. I said, man, why don't you bring that thing down to the house? I'll paint that son of a gun today. He's like, what? I said, you bring it on to the house, I'll paint it. I'll paint it for you. I had a son of a gun painted in 2 days. And he's like, nah, man, I believe I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, yeah. That's what I was telling you. Get you a cheap, try to find you a cheap 10 by 10 canopy. Anchor that bitch down to the ground and get up underneath it and get out of the sunshine. Even though you in the heat, but get out of the sunshine. And that will help you a lot. That will help you a lot. Because I'm telling you, man, that sun ain't no joke. That sun ain't no joke. Plus, it takes a lot out of you anyway. I mean, even you out there working, it takes a lot out of you. So, yeah, it's rough, man. I can spend 10 hours in here, doors open, wind blowing, it's fine. And I'll be tired and exhausted. If I take my ass out there and get on the runway in the sun, man, I feel like I've been beat with a damn backer stick. Yeah, that sun, man, it takes a toll out on you, man. You need about 30 minutes to an hour of sunshine a day to keep your attitude up, your positive energy up, your morale up, so you don't get seasonal depression. And that's about all you need. So. All right, that side over there. This side over here good. This side over here good. It good. How good is it? See, that's what I'm telling you, man. People don't understand. They're like, man, that's all you did today. He's like, damn dog, I'm about to die, man. You know, about to die. Oh, I was gonna drop down to 180. Where is my 180? Y'all bear with me, man. I'm probably gonna kill this phone. Last one I killed with the sand and dust, you couldn't even hear it. What's up? Hey, Tulu, what's up? Hey, I seen you comment the other day, you said class. What kind of class you in, big dog? Can you tell it? Can you tell what kind of class you was in? You in a cooking class? You learn how to cook. I forced myself, I was complaining about the heat. I asked myself, how bad do you? Man, get you a canopy, Tulu. Get you a canopy, TJ. Get you a canopy, man, and that'll help you a lot. Broadcasting. Oh, you trying to get your broadcasting license? You trying to get your ham radio license? Hey, that's what's up, man. I need to get mine too. All right, so here, let me show Tulu since he dropped in here. Here you go. I took a break on this. Took a break on that to do a little bit of filler work. So I got that, and then I started tearing out my cabinets. Started tearing out my cabinets and throwing stuff away that I don't need. So I'm gonna get back on that. And then, look here, look like I've been talking to Scarface. Hey, well, good deal, Tulu. Good deal. Congratulations. Yeah, daggone, I didn't know I'd been on there 75 minutes. So it's 4:30 now. So, like I said, I just wanted to hop on here, show y'all a little bit of this about mixing up some filler, putting into the jams. And like I said, it's not a party for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not everybody's party. Just depends on what kind of party you want to go to. You know what I mean? It's not made for everybody. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, it just depends. It doesn't matter how somebody does their vehicle. If they do it themselves and they're happy of what they got, then another man shouldn't be upset what another man done to his car, because that's what he wanted to do. So if a man done his car this way and that's the way he wanted to do it, then you are to be proud of that man for actually achieving something that he wanted to do. And then in my case, there's people that bring me their cars for one reason. One, they don't know how to do it, or two, they don't want to do it. And then they tell me how they want it, and I either tell them, yes, I can do that, or no, I'm not going to do that. And then they'll say, well, the guy down the road said he'll do it. Well, why ain't you down the guy down the road? Because if the guy down the road wants to do what you asked him, then take it to the man down the road. Because there's some things that I will do, and there's some things I won't do. One, I won't jeopardize the integrity of the shop, and two, I won't do nothing that's not safe to the vehicle. And I respect what people want, and they should respect what I respect to do. So if the guy down the road will just hit your car with some scuff and clean and spray over it, and he's going to do this much money for, he's going to do it for this much money, then why ain't you down there at the guy down the road letting him do it and sitting here in my shop bothering me? You know what I'm saying? So, and I said this before, I don't like car shows, trophies and stuff. So if a man, so let's do this. If there's three 69 C10s parked beside each other, and the first man in the 69 C10 has a straight six, 3 on the tree, has just, and he's got $5,000 in the whole truck, buying it, getting it running, and everything. And then you got the man next to him that's got $15,000 in his truck, and it's a little bit nicer than the $5,000 truck. And then you got the man sitting next to him that's got a $150,000 truck. They all mean the same to me. They all have the same weight, because the man that spent $5,000, maybe that's all that's all he had was $5,000. That's his baby. The man that had 15 bands, that's his baby. The man that had 150 bands, that's his baby. So when somebody looks at you and says, I look at it like this: if somebody gives $10, and then the next man beside him gives $100, and the next man beside him gives $1,000, and you go, well, damn, he didn't give but $10. Well, what if that was all he had in his pocket anyway? That's the same concept I go when I tell people that when people want to donate to my son's scholarship, it doesn't matter if it's $1, $10, $100, $1,000, $100,000, or $1 million. It don't matter to me. It all has the same weight because you gave something. So I was thinking about the other day, the trophy's cool, but I'm here. Look, see that tooth right there? You'll break that son of a bitch trying to eat a trophy. All the trophies that I won racing four-wheelers, the monies, the plaques for car shows and stuff like that, guess what I did with them? I took all the trophies, I took all the years off of them, and I took them back to the trophy shop that I've had for 20 years, and I sold all the trophies back for pennies on the dollar. The towers, the marbles, and all that. He had a kid in there scraping off the plates. All the wooden plaques that I had, I threw them in the fire and I burned them. If it wouldn't burn, I threw it in the dumpster. You can't eat a plaque. You can't eat a trophy. So I don't. Now, if you get your shit put in a magazine, now that's completely different. That's a whole different level. But trophies, you can't eat those things, man. I just like going to car shows, cruise-ins, just to fellowship, look at cars, collaborate with people and stuff like that and have a good time. When you start getting into polished politics, like this weekend at Run to the Sun, polished politics, I ain't in it. I'm going though. I'm going Saturday. I'm leaving here Saturday morning early. So, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that nut and hit that thumbs up. Put me in the algorithm. For some reason, I've been stagnant. Hadn't been moving, ain't getting no traffic, ain't going up and ain't going down, just staying in the center. Facts, I think the trophy is the way you contribute. Yes, it's just like this. When you get a participating trophy because you was there and everybody else drug your ass across, you know, I don't believe in it. I don't believe it. It's like I posted today in my post, and I sent it out to some people. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with myself to be better today than I was yesterday. And if we all strive to do that, then we'll be a whole lot better. So I appreciate you, boys and girls. Remember what I said? Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.